everyone. I'm Andi Timoner. I'm here with Damian Kulash from OK Go. And we are filming here at the Paste Sennheiser House at South by Southwest 2013. Yeah.
Wait, how do you can't do 13?
I think you do this,
hands.
right? The devil's
13.
Horns.
This could be a 1 and 3, and then you need a 2 and a 0.
I'm going to leave that to you. You actually have 4 OK Go.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I think there's a way you can do that too, but someone once taught me, I don't know it anymore.
Damien, you're one of these extraordinary artists that crosses boundaries, blazes trails.
Thank you, thank you.
And I...
Like yourself.
Oh, no.
Boundary crosser, blazer trailer.
Should we let them in on some personal trivia?
Yeah, you made our first video ever. Which consisted of
us running outside with no money and riding a skateboard down Hollywood Boulevard.
Was there a skateboard involved?
I feel like there was, but there wasn't. It was just...
If there was...
in my brain.
I'm a very, very bad skater.
You know what it is? It's the one shot that I remember is just really low to the ground.
Oh yeah,
and
so
then
it felt like it was on a
stars,
skateboard.
and then you were just like up in it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I ever even saw that video. We were signed to a major label in 2001 or something like that, and we had a song that was going to come out, and there was no video, and the head of the label was like, I know this girl who has a camera. Go outside.
What year was this?
It was either 2000 or 2001, I think. Maybe 2002?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's pre-dig.
You've made vastly better stuff since.
But then we saw each other again. I filmed you at Lollapalooza.
Right.
In your hometown of Chicago.
Yeah, well, the band's hometown of Chicago. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and the band started in Chicago when I moved there in 1998.
And you guys don't live all in the same town anymore, right?
Now 3 members of the band live in L.A., where I lived for the last 10 years, and I just moved to New York. So now we're separated. I moved to L.A. for a short time. The band was all in Chicago, and then eventually everybody moved to L.A. around the same time I moved to New York.
Well, there's a revolution. We're in the midst of a revolution, right?
Totally.
So you can just live wherever.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is we don't, like when we're on tour, we're in the same place. When we're in the studio, we're in the same place. And there's really not other stuff that we have to do together, so.
Now, what are you at South by Southwest announcing now?
Oh, our guitarist, Andy Ross, has coded a really awesome game, which we are not here announcing, but I guess I'm now announcing accidentally.
Yes. Right here, Paste Sennheiser.
I don't know when we're going to, it's coming sometime in the next month or 6 weeks maybe, that Andy's game is coming out.
What's it about?
It's about words.
Ooh.
It's a word game.
Oh.
It's a social word game, and it would have no relationship to the band other than the fact that he is in the band. And our feeling about the band is like we're a bunch of dudes who make stuff, and if you made something awesome, we should put that out.
Right. So there's no soundtrack by OK Go or anything like that?
There might be some little sounds by us.
You're going to make a music video with the game, with the words on screen.
We're going to make a video about it, but it's not going to be a music video. We're actually here tomorrow. I think tomorrow we start shooting a little video about it, where we run around Austin playing the game.
Really?
Yeah. So we're here to shoot that video. We are here. I'm talking on some panels. He's talking on some panels. And Tim, our bassist, has another band called Pyramids that we put out on our own label. And they're here playing many shows.
So let's talk about your own label.
Yeah.
Let's talk about just the new world we live in. When we met, we were outside. We met inside.
We met
Capitol
inside
Records.
the Beast. And we
inside
did.
The
We
Beast,
met
in the belly of the
inside
Beast.
Capitol Records building, literally the Beast.
Then when we re-met, the internet was hitting and it was happening.
Yes.
Arcade Fire was there.
Right.
They had made it off the internet. And then you guys split the label pretty soon thereafter?
Yeah, we left the label
2006?
in 2009, 8, 9, something like that.
Okay.
We right at the time that our last album came out, we had recorded it assuming it would come out on Capitol Records. In fact, it did come out on Capitol Records. And within 2 weeks, or a month or something like that, we got off the label. And we had a bunch of sort of high-profile fights with them about our videos. We're that video band, and they didn't want our videos to be embeddable on the YouTube postings of our videos. At that moment
they wanted to hold it back.
You could get more CPM payment or whatever if it was on your own actual YouTube page than if it were on a blog somewhere or something. So like, you know, in that sort of like not shoot your own foot, but rather just shoot yourself in the face move that labels like to do. They were like, so let's just make sure nobody can see your video, and then you'll get paid more for it. And we're like, that's not really how it works. So we got it. There was some sort of tension, and the label, I think, was in the process of selling themselves to another label and all this stuff. And at some point, it just got like, you know, it'd be better if we just did this ourselves. Can we do this ourselves? And never will a label let you walk away and do it yourself unless they're I don't know
they're
why,
facing
but
an audit or something.
Yeah, I mean, they were just sort of like, you know what? Go ahead.
I think the reason is because Capitol doesn't really exist, right? Is it kind of?
They've since been sold, I think, more than once, but
they're kind of like a landmark, an LA landmark.
Yeah, well, you know, the Capitol building has been owned by other people for a long time. Capitol now rents out the Capitol building.
It's turning into condos and stuff.
Yeah, they're turning it into condos soon. Seriously, I mean, that's obviously.
I know. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
But they were actually. I have, despite the fact that all sounds really snarky, they were really totally decent about it. Like, we had made a record. They didn't want to pay a bunch of the budgets to promote the record, so they were like, you know what, take your record, go do it yourselves. And we did, and things have been a lot better since.
How's it gone? Yeah, how's it gone since?
Been awesome. It's really been great. I mean, we're very lucky to have started back when there was still an industry to learn things from. You know, like how to do it right and do it wrong. And
that's interesting. That's cool.
I mean, now it's such a crazy Wild West right now in such a beautiful, wonderful way. But it's also really hard to know what to do at all. If you're just like, if I was working at Starbucks trying to figure out how to get my band off the ground, I would have no idea where to start right now. You know, and we're lucky that there was some sort of a guideline once upon a time, because now we don't do anything by the rules, but at least we figured out who we are.
You knew what the rules were to break in the first place. But what did you hold on to? Like, because physical record sales are done, right? So
yeah, I mean, for us, there's the most traditional thing we do is make records. Like, we go into a studio and make an album. Like we write
come together
50 songs or something, and we cut it down to 20 that we actually want to start working on, and eventually that'll turn into 10 or 15 or whatever that become an album. Which nobody thinks of, or you know, people younger than we are don't go like think of albums. You know, they think of songs, and they might not even, you know, they certainly don't think of an object. It's not like a thing you hold and own. It's like a song out there in space somewhere.
Right.
And the reason we do that is partly industrial, in the sense that, like, you can't put like, if you just put a song out every 6 weeks or something, it's such an even distribution of stuff that no one really pays attention. Like, when you release an album, you can have reviews and the world pays attention and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But mostly it's actually creative, which is that if we wanted to go like, we're going to make a song every 6 weeks, they would all have the same aim, basically. You'd always be going, okay, so what's the one thing we can plug into this place in the world?
You're making an organism.
And you don't know what generally your best things, I don't know if it's for you, but for me, the best things happen when you throw yourself into an unknown space with fairly known rules. Like, I want to make 15 songs. Then you're not trying to make 15 singles. You're trying to make 15 songs.
That all tell a story together, or they relate to one another.
Yeah, and when you like want to make something ridiculously not like what you think of yourself as being. You know, when you're like, now I'm going to write a sad soul song. When you think of yourself as a punk rock band, you just go that direction. It might be the best thing you ever made. You know, but if you keep trying to be yourself in every way you think of yourself, you keep making the same thing all the time.
But to jump in, well, actually, we shouldn't leave recording without mentioning that you actually are a Sennheiser artist.
We are a Sennheiser artist, it's true.
Which just happens to be, this whole thing is a coincidence.
Yeah, we use their mics on stage, and I don't know that we've ever even talked about this with them, but the mic that I like to sing on our records into best is an old 60s 421, an old white 421.
A white one.
I just bought 2 of them online from eBay, and whoever the eBay seller is who just sold me the fucking broke one, coming after you, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's that guy. Maybe it's that guy.
I believe his name is...
Could be that guy.
TJ Dead Hooker 451. Literally, his eBay name is Dead Hooker. Why I bought it?
And you were like, this is the guy.
I'd love to buy your microphone.
This is the vendor for me.
It came in a box. It came in
the internet's supposed to be about trust.
Totally.
The new world's supposed to be about trust.
It came in a like a postal service box with no wrapping in it. It was just like they were like put in, you know, a 50-year-old microphone in the mailbox. They were just like, and it showed up broken, of course.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about you, okay? You also make your own music. You guys are all, you're multimedia artists. And that's a point I want to get across. That's why I think you're so special. That's why I went and kidnapped you from the Four Seasons just a few minutes ago. And you ended up here.
I would love to stay at the Four Seasons. I'm not that wealthy.
No, he was just
having meetings.
Yeah.
We like to make stuff. You like
videos.
to make stuff. Everyone
When you're in the studio and you're recording a record, are you thinking about your music video? Are you thinking about your marketing?
No.
You're not.
I think in general,
and you're not thinking of it as marketing.
Exactly. People still think of music videos as marketing for songs, or that like.
You thought of them as art pieces.
Yeah, well, everyone still thinks of all these creative industries as being the same basic buckets that they were 15, 20 years ago. That people make films, and people make songs, and people make advertisements, or people make books, or people and everybody's making ones and zeros, and everybody's and it's all getting distributed the same way, and the biggest DJing technology in the world is YouTube. If you're younger than we are, you go to parties and you put on YouTube and you play the songs you want. It's not. So is that a film technology? Is that a music technology? Is that an interactive technology? I mean, we're all making ones and zeros, and if you're a creative person who has urges to make stuff, the idea that you would have to put those in boxes that were defined in a different industrial time is crazy. I mean, it's like.
But the middleman, the record company, is gone, right? You don't need to have the middleman. Do you have any middlemen?
That's a hard question to answer. I mean, obviously we have distributors who sell it. We make our albums and they get put in stores insofar as they go to stores at all anymore.
You have a little office. That's what your record label is. Somebody's working the phones.
We have one guy who is our record label. We are our label basically. We have a small office of people. It's generally one guy, and then we hire more people when we need to do more stuff. And we have there are distributors that are largely owned by other record labels that will put stuff in stores and that kind of stuff. And we have.
And do you put out other people's records?
We do put out other people's records.
Like who?
Lavender Diamond and Pyramids are our two. Bands.
And Pyramids is coming from a bandmate.
Pyramids is our bassist's other band. And their record's about to come out. It comes out now-ish. It comes out in the next 3 weeks sometime, I think. And they are playing shows here at South by Southwest. They're playing 5 shows. You should definitely see them. They're called Pyramids, 2 Y's in there. Pyramids. And Lavender Diamond, who you must know Becky Stark.
Of course I know Becky. Wow.
So Becky Stark and I have been friends since we were 12 years old, 13 years old.
Oh.
And
that's her band?
Her band is called Lavender Diamond.
Oh, wow.
And I produced their record. We put it out a few months ago, and it is. I'm not saying this is not my ego involved. It's an incredibly beautiful record. I mean, you know her. She's got the best voice of any human, and she is so genuinely in love with the universe. She's such a genuine hippie that she can actually sing songs that are 3 words.
When I think of her, I think of Fresh Baked Goods, actually, and her voice.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there in terms of a cross-platform.
Bees and butterflies for some reason.
That's true. That's true too. We're getting the sort of the.
Yeah, you guys are going on too long about shit that does not matter.
No, it matters. It matters because you stand for what an artist can do today, and that is, folks, you can put your records out, you can reach your audience.
You don't have to make.
In fact, wait, have you guys have been profitable, lived off your art, correct?
Yep.
Let's just wrap it up with that.
That's
thanks to the mighty internet, right? And to your artistic sensibilities. And is there any parting advice for people out there, for musicians out there, or artists out there in terms of
make good stuff? I know it sounds so.
How do you know before you go run down a road? Do you think you can test it? Do you think people should try minimum viable product type thing? Do you think there's anything?
I think look, lots of people are going to make stuff that they think is great, and other people aren't going to like it. But you have to make stuff that's awesome, and if you don't think it's great, no one else is going to think it's great. So it better be you have to think it's great, and then it has to even be better than that for other people to like it. And there's no way of knowing. You just have to go make stuff. You have to make awesome stuff. And I feel like the biggest issue is context. That everyone's still stuck in trying to make things for the wrong context. Make stuff for right now. Make stuff that you want, and if it's really great, everyone else will want it.
Okay, thank you, Damian. Pleasure to reunite here.
Nice to see you again. Wow, clapping after an interview.
Wow.
Thanks, everyone.